If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life, it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast. And that is a passage from a letter Ernest Hemingway wrote to a friend, which explains his classic memoir, A Moveable Feast. That, or it's called A Moveable Feast, because when you try to eat it, it moves away from you. So for half a year now, Waterstones has been picking a classic book of the month, which they describe as the rediscovered classic, to promote alongside the regular book of the month, which is usually a great contemporary book that's either just come out in paperback or hardback. So the very first rediscovered classic they did was all the way back last summer, and that was Francois Sagan's Bonjour Tristes. They followed that up with J.L. Carr's A Month in the Country, and then a few months later they also did Shirley Jackson, We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Then the very next month after that they did The Haunted Hotel by Wilkie Collins, and that's just to name a few. And now in January we've picked Ernest Hemingway's A Moveable Feast. Now, A Moveable Feast might be my favorite Hemingway book, which is saying something because he's written quite a few good ones. In this book, he tracks his experiences as a struggling writer living in Paris in the 1920s. To me, this is one of the best books set in Paris, and if you're going to Paris, or you're there right now, or you just want to be teleported there from your bedroom, this book does the job unlike any other. The first time I went to Paris, I actually took this book with me, and I kept it in my jacket pocket as I just sort of went from cafe to cafe, reading this book along the way. And it's, to this day, an experience that I treasure. And obviously I owe a huge debt to Paris for being a wonderful city, but I also owe a debt to this book, which was my guide. The book is told through sketches and scenes drawn from Hemingway's memory. All the major characters of the Lost Generation make cameo appearances, so expect scenes with F. Scott Fitzgerald, Gertrude Stein, James Joyce, and all sorts of other people as well. I think many of the jokes and scenes in the film Midnight in Paris are actually drawing upon this book quite heavily, and so if you've seen that film, quite a bit of, I think, the source material is inspired from scenes written in this very book. I'd also say this book portrays a really sensitive portrait of Ernest Hemingway. Of course, there are scenes where he goes fishing or drinks a lot of wine, but you also see a really sensitive side and contemplative side to Hemingway in this book. A side of him that gets lost in the self-mythology that he sort of created for himself. So if you haven't read Ernest Hemingway's A Moveable Feast, do yourself a favor and check it out. If you have read it or plan on reading it, please let us know in the comments below. And if you want to take a little perusal of the book, please stop by at Waterstones Trafalgar Square to take a look. We have it on a table. And if you like this video, please like it. And if you really like this video, please subscribe. Until next time, happy reading. Bye bye bye.